Hello everyone. So today we are going to learn about the pharyngeal apparatus, one of the very complex topic of the embryology and a very important topic for any kind of university exams or MCQs. So today we will try to get oriented to these structures and what are the structures and derivatives from this structure actually apparatus. So now let us see. So pharyngeal apparatus, what is actually pharyngeal apparatus? Is just the structure, the embryological structure which consists of the pharyngeal arches, pouches and clefts. So now let me make you let me give you a clear orientation on what is it actually. So let us see. So this is, we can see this is the cranial end, like cranial neuropore we can see here. This is the cranial end and this is the caudal or pericardial bulge we can see here, and that anterior to it or proximal to it there is development of the first and second pharyngeal arches. So we can see here progressively it is actually this is very, these are the diagrams. The diagram I have taken a table from the Langman, and that is in the chapter 17, actually chapter 17 of Langman's medical embryology book. So see, now this is the embryological, now it goes on like developing, and then we will get a typical embryological structure in near around our 5th weeks. Then we will get these pharyngeal arches. Now these pharyngeal arches are the mesenchymal tissue contain, and these mesenchymal tissue are separated by the depression or groove which are known as the pharyngeal clefts, right? So this is the cardiac bulging, this is the pericardial bulging, and then we have this cranial end or cranial bulge. So in between that, and this is the stomodium, that opening of mouth, and then we have this pharynx. So these are the pharyngeal apparatus. Now let us see and get oriented. So let me make it more interesting. So please raise your hand and do it in like, raise it in a namaste, like raise as a doing namaste. So as you are doing namaste, your hands are joined, right? Your hands are joined. Now try to like extend like outward, the palmar surface are joined, and extend your dorsal surface of the palm actually. Then what we will get, a space in it, right? Space inside it. Suppose imagine that the space now is filled with this mesenchymal tissue. Again ask one of your friend to keep their hand in the same position, slightly extending the palm from each other, giving it a space. So what is there? Again there is the fill with, it is filled with the mesenchymal tissue. Again ask another friend to keep their hand above it. Now what we will have is, the space is filled with the mesenchymal tissue, and that is the typical structure of the pharyngeal apparatus. So now what with this structure which we are looking at, this is the section, like if we cut the section from this typical structure of embryology like this, then we will get the structure if we view it from this side. So this is the kind of structure, and let me orient you furthermore. So this mesenchymal tissue is now filled with the that is mesoderm, that is mesodermal in origin. So that is either lateral mesoderm or paraxial mesoderm. Then after, what we have got is the outward epithelium or the surface epithelium by which this mesenchyme is covered by is known as this ectoderm. It is the ectoderm. And then inward is the endoderm. So endoderm, the endodermal origin epithelium. So we can see here the same structure we can. So this is your hand, suppose this is your left side and this is your right side. So left is giving your ectodermal, right is giving the endodermal surface or origin, and the space between your hands, the doing namaste and like swelling it, extending it outward, this gives the arch. So this is called as the pharyngeal arch. And the place where the junction is made between two hands, that is called as the cleft, that is cleft or just the depression, which is ectodermal in origin. And due to this bulging of your hand, the palm, the dorsal surface bulging, that bulging will give this space, like this space. Such kind of space or out pocketing is known as the pouch. So there is the pharyngeal pouch, pharyngeal arc and pharyngeal cleft, which all together are known as the pharyngeal apparatus, right? Okay, so if you get oriented through this structure, or if you forget any time, please do this trick. It will help you. It will help you to remember it. Joining your hand right and left becomes, and then the field is the arc is filled with the mesenchymal tissue, and then further this arc consists of nerve, artery and cartilage. Nerve, artery and cartilage. This is the cartilage and this is artery and this is nerve. Now typically each pouches and this is each arc. So now let me give you how many arches are there, how many pharyngeal arches are in there. Total we have 5 arches. 5 arches in named through 1, 2, 3, 4 and 6th. Oh my god, I forgot one number. No, I haven't forgot. Actually the 5th one is either degenerated or not present in the human being. So 5th arch is not present in the human being. Then let me give you the orientation about the pouches and clefts in here in this diagram then. So in this we can see this is the cleft. The structure which we can see here, the depressed one is, this is the cleft, the groove, that is the cleft, and there are totally 1, 2, 3 and 4 cleft. 4 cleft. Similarly, seeing in the endodermal origin, or let us see toward the inside, we have these pouches, and how many are there? 1, 2, 3 and 4 pouches, and both sides if we consider, then there are 4 pair of pouches and 4 pair of these clefts. And now this is the orientation of structure. So very easy. Try to correlate it through your own structure. Make it easy. You can get example and correlate it with anything. Connect it with something, and that will help you learn it very easily. So these are the nerves and arteries and cartilage present, and these all will give the typical structure, nerve supply, and this cartilage will give, now will give the further structures, develop into another structure, bony structure, skeleton, and then artery will be supplying all these derivatives near the head and neck. So pharyngeal apparatus is actually the embryological structure which further gives development of so many structures in the head and neck region. Now we have to understand, let me give you a very easy way to learn it. What are the derivatives actually? So I think you are like oriented through this diagram now, through this demonstration or example. Now we have to learn, like there are nerves located, then what are the nerves then? So we have 5, 7, 9 and 10. Remember it, repeat it, repeat the sequence: 5, 7, 9, 10, 5, 7, 9, 10. And in 10 we have the vagus nerve, the recurrent laryngeal branch, and the superior laryngeal branch. So the upper one will be the 4th arch. For 4th arch it will be the superior laryngeal actually, and the 6th arch will have the recurrent laryngeal. So that is 4th and 6th. So 4th will give the superior laryngeal nerve, and this will 6th arch consisting of this neuron, that nerve tissue, will give the recurrent laryngeal nerve. And as we all know, 5th is the trigeminal. Trigeminal has got maxillary and mandibular division, right? Maxillary and mandibular division. Then after, so now we already got oriented. See, this is now oriented, that 5, 7, 9 and 10, these are the cranial nerves. Repeating it again just because to like chant it and get oriented. 5, 7, 9, 10. 10 has got 4th and 6th pharyngeal arch, which is the superior laryngeal and the recurrent laryngeal. So trigeminal has got maxillary and mandibular division. Mandibular division will supply the muscles of mastication. Facial nerve will supply the facial muscles. Then after we have the glossopharyngeal, of course, supplying the muscles around the tongue, right? And then we have the 10th one, larynx. So there will be most developing structures as in cartilage would be the laryngeal cartilages and the bone and the muscles around it, regions of the neck. So this is how we can correlate and learn this, the derivatives of the pharyngeal apparatus, mostly these arches. So 5, 7, 9, 10. Then what we have the development of, again I will try to repeat this, that cartilage. First cartilage is known as the Meckel's cartilage, and second cartilage is known as the Reichert's cartilage. So, and all other cartilages have got the normal names, that is cartilage number 2, 3, that is 3, 4 and 6. So, now this is just a very easy orientation to learn about. Now let us further see, like we have to see the table, which this is the table taken from the Langmans, page number 279, chapter 17. So this is giving us the table actually. So in this, what we can see is we have the structure developing from the arch. First of all, I will try to give you the cleft. So this is the pharyngeal cleft actually, and this cleft will get developed into the, by invaginating into the mesenchymal tissue. It will give the external auditory meatus and also the eardrum or tympanic membrane, and where it is connecting or leading us to, this is the tympanic cavity, and tympanic cavity also consists of the eustachian tube, and the tympanic cavity and eustachian tube are a derivative of this one. You can see here tympanic, the middle ear cavity, and eustachian tube, the pouch 1, the pharyngeal pouch 1. So this is the structure actually from the pouch and cleft. And other clefts of like 3, 4th and 6th cleft, they usually degenerate and they give the cervical sinus actually. That sinus is somehow also degenerated later on. So these are the derivatives of the cleft. Now pouches, we can see we have got this auditory tube and tympanic from the first, then second we have got the palatine tonsil tracheal fossa, and this subsequent derivatives we can learn it very easily. Now let me give you the orientation of derivatives of arches. So 5, 7, 9 and 10, 9 and 10, 9th and 10th, vagus has got superior laryngeal branch for 4th one, and that recurrent laryngeal one for the 6th one. So muscles are like trigeminal supply the muscles of mastication, this mandibular division, so muscle of mastication, and also we have the anterior digastric and tensor palatine and tensor tympani. So in this way we can correlate and learn the structures that are derived from the first arches. Then we have the skeleton, which were like usually known as the cartilage. In cartilage we named it as the Meckel's cartilage. Then near the face, so maxilla, premaxilla, see we can see the zygomatic bone, part of the temporal bone, Meckel's cartilage we already know, mandible, malleus incus and anterior ligament. See, these are like structures, these are structures which we can learn through the nerve, the origin and how these structures supply these nerves. Then we have the facial nerve. Facial nerve has got the supplying the facial muscles of facial expressions. We can see that is very easy and easy to remember. Malleus incus is supplied, or that is given by the first arch, then stapes is given by the second one, and name of these arches are also given, mandibular arch and hyoid arch. So in this way we can learn. So these are the subsequent derivatives from the muscles, like from the pharyngeal apparatus, as in muscles and skeleton are given. Now this much for today. This is all about the pharyngeal apparatus. I hope you got clear orientation on like what is the apparatus and how is it situated, and what are the like functions, like how these structures are getting derived into different structures around the head and neck region. So this much for today in this tutorial. Thank you so much. For any queries and confusion, do comment below and let me know, and subscribe my channel to encourage me. Thank you. See you again. Bye bye.